The function Song Deltas is our take on music testing, but we don't ask any questions, we measure how your real listeners react to the songs you play. The function is situated under Music, and it's easy to get a music report because you just select the station you want it for, the demo you want it for stream number users, online all is preferred, but for users of electronically measured numbers, you can get music tests for different demos as well, including age groups and genders. Let's do online all, and then you select a time range that you want to use, or do a quick date here. Let's do the latest 2 weeks, and maybe do songs played more than 20 times. Before you can hit analyze, you need to answer the question if you want to hide the invalid deltas. Invalid deltas are songs where we've been able to make a measurement, but it isn't statistically valid because enough respondents hasn't listened to it. I kind of always tick this box so I know what I get, which is valid calculations. And then when I hit analyze, well, I get a music test of the last 2 weeks, songs played more than 15 times, or 20 times in this case. What you get here, of course, is the artist, the title, then you get the number of times you've played that song, and the delta spins, which means on how many of those plays were we able to make a calculation. Then you get the delta percentage. The delta percentage is the performance percentage. If it's green, it's positive. If it's red, it's negative. And if you want to know how positive or how negative, well, there really is no truth in one being good and -1 being bad, because what you have to do is you have to sort them high to low. So on this particular station, for instance, -1.66 is the worst rated song, and +2.18 is the best rated song. So it's seen in that kind of span that you need to kind of figure out, is this good or is it bad? Because now you know the bottom and you know the top. You also get to know exactly how many listeners switched off or prolonged their listening sessions while listening to this song in the time span we're looking at. And you get the number of impressions, how many times did someone listen to the song, and the delta impressions, which is then how many times did we measure someone listening to the song. To just explain a little bit about how the delta calculation works, I'd like to take you back to the function called clocks, because that's really where you can see it measured out as something graphical. Maybe if you've used clocks, you know how we draw this clock and we have two graphs running inside of the clock, the black graph being the average and the colored graph being the actual listening on this particular day. Now let's take this song right here, David 44, as the example. You see the black graph right here. It's pretty straight and it doesn't dip, it doesn't go up throughout this song. But on the yellow graph, which is today, we see a dip happening and then a climb towards the end. And we end up slightly lower than we started. We shouldn't have, we should have been straight out the road. So this particular song underperforms. The same goes for this song, should actually have gone up a little bit. But you can see how the yellow line gets closer to the black line, so it drops a little bit. So on this particular play, we have an underperformance. Now the good thing about the song deltas is song deltas are built from many plays of songs, so that way you get a statistically valid calculation on songs. If you just play it once, you get a kind of an insecure measurement where you can only see how this one play made people react. But for instance, on this one, under 114 plays, this percentage is not a coincidence. This song actually overperforms. To get a little bit of perspective, you can use delta versus time. All of these buttons out here mean you can get a detailed graphical view of every single song. Let's do the top played song, Panic at the Disco. What we do is we draw a graph of the whole period of time where this particular station has played this particular song. Here you see 0. So everything above 0 is a positive reaction, everything below 0 is a negative reaction. And the red line shows you the reactions week by week, so you can kind of keep tabs on how the song performs over time. The little orange bars here, that's how many times this particular station has played the song week by week, and the green bars is how many times it's been played in the market week by week. Now looking at this, which is a song that's been played for a relatively long time, at least for a CHR station, it gets a little bit confusing and you see it jumping a little bit up and down. So what we normally suggest people do is switch the view from week to month right here. And then the picture becomes much clearer and you can actually see how this song is reacting, just like most songs are, to first a positive performance, still staying above zero, but dropping a little bit as more radio stations pick it up. It gains a little bit of momentum, even though it's growing a lot in the airplay charts. And then what happens when the plays kind of start dropping just a little bit, and then further the next month, the demand for the song goes up because people hear it less on the radio and it becomes more popular. Now, we know that this is not a popular truth with music directors, and it doesn't fit very well strategically with being a CHR music director, that a popular song will become more popular when people start not playing it. Nonetheless, that is the fact of what we see, that when demand for a song is high and the plays of a song is very high, you get kind of mediocre reactions to the song, whereas when supply of a song is getting lower, less radios are playing it, and they're playing it less week by week or month by month, we actually see the popularity going up because people can once again kind of stay clear of the song for a while and then hear it maybe just once or twice. This is science in its own right, the music research and the way of looking at it. So this is just a general and very easy explanation on how it works. You really have to work with your own numbers and your own listeners to figure out exactly how this can be applied to your radio station. But one thing is for sure, and that is that this is scientifically measured burn. It's not perceived burn, and it's not burn that's got any kind of other info in there, like artist likability or something like that. It's scientific burn. And that's important for you because it can either shorten or grow your time spent listening.